Okay, so for today's video, right, we are actually going to show you one of the most expensive chromis I've ever purchased in my whole life. Okay, so for today, right, so we are actually going to share with you guys on one very unique fish. So this is actually also my first time actually seeing this particular fish in real life. I've only seen it in photos before. It's rarely been documented, not because of how rare is it, but then it's because of the region that it's found in. It's not found very commonly in a lot of places, but then it's actually a bread and butter fish in our marine hobby industry. So the fish I'm actually going to share with you guys about, right, is actually it's a type of chromis. So for most of you guys, right, you guys see chromis, you guys will know chromis as the blue green chromis, which is one of the most affordable fish. These guys go for a very good price. For Singapore pricing wise, they usually go for like $3, $2 for one fish. You can actually get them like 10 for 25. But then this looks exactly like them. They are also part of chromis, but then the price tag of these guys, right, it's almost more than about 5 to 6 times your normal chromis price. So pricing wise, they are pretty crazy, and today I'm actually going to introduce these guys to you. So the fish that we are actually going to share with you guys today, right, is a chromis from the Arabian Sea. So chromis do have a couple of regions as well. So we have a normal blue green chromis, and then right here, right, we actually have the Arabian chromis. So color-wise pattern, they're really different. The normal blue green chromis are really nice with that blue green, that shimmer in them, right? While the Arabian chromis, these guys are more jet black to more grayish kind of color, and then with this little tint of orange in their pectoral fin. So when this actually was my first time seeing them, so when I actually got the news of these guys actually coming into Singapore, right? So our local fish store here in Iwana, so they actually contacted me and then they told me that they bought in a very interesting group of chromises. So they showed me the picture, and at first I was like, you know, that kind of feeling like chromis, it's not a fish that excites me a lot because they are usually pretty cheap and affordable. So when they told me that they bought in a bit of a few Arabian chromis, right, at first I was a bit skeptical, like, are they really that special? Are they really that hard to come by? So I actually did a little bit of research on my own, and I found that actually there are not really a lot of documentation on it. But don't get me wrong, if you really go out to that region, right, to where the Arabian Seas, right, you do see them very commonly found in their environment in the region. But however, because these guys are not widely collected, so this is why the price is so high. Well, compared to your normal blue-green chromis, where they are like a staple for the hobby trade, and then everybody goes out there to collect them. So this is why, it's the same, like when there's demand high, supply high, your price will drop. But these guys, because the demand is not very high, the supply is not very high, the prices actually went up a lot. So price-wise, I'm actually comparing them, right? Huge, big difference range, right? Like I mentioned before, the normal blue-green chromis goes about, you can get them in Singapore, about 10 of them, the normal blue green chromis, for about $25. So each one will cost you about $2 to $3. While for the Arabian chromis, right, these guys are like 6 for 100. So if you count the price, right, for $100 to just purchase 6 of these guys, right, you can actually buy up to 40 of your normal blue green chromis. So if you compare it this way, right, actually they are really expensive for chromises. So this is why today's topic is the most expensive chromis that I've purchased. So when I first bought 6 chromis for $100, when I first told my wife that's behind the camera right now, right, trust me, she's not very happy about it. That I actually spent $100 on 6 chromis, but then I decided to bite the bullet though and give it a try, and to really tell myself, like, to really understand what's really that special about these guys over there. So we'll switch the camera over, then I'll show you guys in close look in person on how these guys actually look from then on. They are pretty interesting. At first, when I first see them from Iwana, right, so actually Chin actually showed me them. these guys, but then I was like very skeptical about it. I was like, why do I want to spend so much money on chromises? And I've actually never really seen them in real life before. I've only seen them in photos, so I cannot really judge how pretty they are. But then I know for this COVID tank, right, I actually want things to be very unique. So like we have the yellow Scopas, we have the really hard to go, very hard to care for multi-bar angel, and then we have the pair of storm clowns over here, and then we have our rosy scale rest, which is one of my favorite resters. And so I wanted something schooling in this tank. So if I take a look at the back, right, I don't really have much of a schooling fishes in this section over here. So I wanted to go with like a couple of schooling fishes. I did actually wanted to go like Ventralis Antias, but then Ventralis Antias success rate is really low and the price tag is like crazy just to fill this tank up. So I ditched that idea of actually getting a school of Ventralis here. And then this guy's actually pop up in one of my RFS, which is Iwana. So Chica actually told me that he got in Arabian Chromis. So at first same I was like, wow, 6 for 100 is pretty pricey for chromises. But when you weigh them out, right, these guys are actually pretty hard to come by. These guys are only found in the Arabian Sea, and then they are not so widely collected compared to your Blue Green Chromis, so hence the price tag being so high. And because like I justify myself that I want this tank to be a bit special, so the fishes that goes in have to be special as well. So I decided to, okay, I'll grab 6 of them, I'll throw inside here and see how they goes. So apparently when I throw all 6 in, right, they started to hide here and there, but then after a while later they got very comfortable with this tank because there's really not much aggression going on in this tank, aside from the multi-bar angel who's being the most dominant one here. But then after a while later, right, all 6 of them actually got a bit comfortable. They do go in and out of the crevices, but then they spend most of the time out in this area, which is perfect for me because like I wanted them to stay in this area here to like go in and out of the exhibit or the display. So overall look, right, if you take a closer look at these guys, they are actually pretty boring in color, I will say. These guys are pretty much grey black compared to your Blue Green Chromis, but then they have these really nice little small orange specks on them, on their pectoral fin, so like give them a little bit of very interesting color variant. So I'm still waiting for them to like really color up and then to see how they really look, but this is actually how they look like now, which I can't really like about it. Okay, so you have actually seen the Chromis itself, right? So let me know, what do you guys think? Is it really a worth purchase? This was the first time I actually seen them in Singapore, and it's the first time that I actually owned them. So I would say that care level wise, they are actually pretty easy. As usual, they are like chromises. These guys are not a very sensitive fish. When I first got all 6 of them, right, I actually just throw them into a box. And then within that same day, right, all of them actually start eating, which is a really good sign. After that, when I put them in, right, they do have a little bit of aggression here and there, like they will pick each other, stuff like this. But then as time goes by, right, they are actually much more bolder. Same like for all other chromis. Once they get comfortable, they get very used to the environment, right, they'll come out more. So like you can see right behind me, right, even though I'm standing right here beside them with a lot of movement here and there, right, they actually are still up from in the main oval area here where they're actually swimming in and out of the rockwork. So they kind of really grown a little into me, and then collection wise, this is not easy to come by, and I wanted something really special for this tank. So like I mentioned earlier in the previous video, right, the COVID tank build has to be special because it's a very small tank. The bio load has to be really small. There's a lot of things that I cannot add into this tank because it's really small tank. I don't really want to overkill the bio load in this tank. So every fish that goes in here has to be special. So I was looking for a couple of very nice schooling fishes to add into this tank, which a couple of options came into my mind. But then these guys actually do pop out just nice at the period of time when I'm looking for a schooling fish. So this is why I thought myself, okay, why not spend the money, observe them, give it a try, and give you guys an honest review on what I actually feel about these guys. Which right now I'm actually thinking that if they have another 6, right, I'll probably want to put another 6 into this tank because I still feel that they're a bit too little here. Like the 6 of them, even though they are out, but then like you still do see spare little spaces here and there. But then I don't know whether my LFS still have them or not, and when will be the next shipment to actually get them in. So this is one question that I want you guys to answer for me, right? Is should I mix them up? Should I throw in 6 of a normal Blue Green Chromis in here just to contrast them a little bit, like to have the blues, the greys, the blues, the greys, just to mix and match a little bit? But I'm worrying about aggression, because if I put a Chromis in, right, I'm worried that the cheaper Chromis or the Blue Green Chromis, right, will one day turn dominant and then start to go after this 6. So, and whether will they commute together or will they fight? This is one thing that I've never tried before, and there's one thing that I've never actually seen anybody owning both different chromis from different regions in the same tank. So leave a comment down below what you guys think. Do you guys feel that I should get another 6 of the Arabian Chromis, or should I get another 6 of another Blue Green Chromis just to contrast this tank? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, right? And then from then on, I will see what I actually will do with this, guys. So if they have 6 of the Arabian Chromis in my RFS, right, I will probably get them again. But for $100, they are still pretty expensive. So if anybody wants to sponsor me 6 more of these Arabian Chromis, right, you guys always feel free to do so if you happen to have them somehow in your display. But overall, I would say that they are really fun and interesting fish to look at. They are like the first time, and I believe that these are the first few that you actually see on video. I've not really seen. If you really go and Google Arabian Chromis, right, you do see some photos here and there. Video wise, not a lot. So to be able to hold 6 in the display here right now, right, that's something that is pretty interesting, and it's something that I really want to share with you guys out there. So I believe that I actually come to the end of today's video on this, guys. They are doing really well right now, and I'll give you guys another update probably about 6 months later on how they are doing. And if I actually do add in 6 more Chromises, right, I will do another video later on, whether is it another 6 more Blue Green or another 6 more Arabian into this tank, or if you feel that this 6 is enough right now, also do let me know in the comment section below. But until then, right, subscribe, like, share all the videos out to all your friends out there. If you have always wanting to get a Chromis, right, or actually you did see this shipment came in the previous time and you wonder like why are they so expensive from the previous shipment, right? The takeaway from you guys is region wise, these guys are only found in one region. They are so expensive because they are not collected that often, but they are actually pretty commonly found in the wild, and they are actually a very interesting schooling fish. Care levels, they are exactly the same as your normal Blue Green Chromis, so they are actually really hardy fish to go for. So that's my conclusion for this, guys. Same thing, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon next week.